Right, so I'm just going to recap yesterday's day. I'm going to do it showing some videos from yesterday as well. So, this is yesterday, the 16th, the red bar. This is the regular hours trade. So down off the open. Just one sec. What is that? Anyway, right, down off the open. Sideways action. Tilted slightly down. Lower high, lower low. Anyway, eventually gave up. Now, I had a pretty awful day. Well, a negative day. Let's not say awful. Let's not throw in the towel. But 50 trades. I saw it as a trading day. I didn't see it as a fundamental day, a macro day. I saw it as a trading day, so I was trying to get on the other side of traders, trying to fade the emotions. I'm going to put this to RTH as well. Look at that. This is what I'm going to talk about, this four here. This one, and then this one. So let's go back to a video from yesterday. Yeah, so this is the sort of mid video. This is an hour long. This is... What time are we looking at here? What time are we looking at? So it's 5:28 a.m. That's not making sense. Maybe I'm on the wrong one here. Maybe I'm on the wrong one. Is that the one I want? Yeah, let's start with this one. So 11:45 a.m. Central Time. And the market was still in this sideways action with a slight negative tilt. I was switching between long and short. I think by this time I wasn't that convinced that we were coming down, but that was eventually in the back of my head. I don't really like using the word feel, but I did feel that it could fall back. The question for the day was, are we going to break this downtrend? Are traders going to see the break, get with momentum, and start pushing this higher? That's what, on the being short, I was afraid of and wary of. On the flip side, positive for the short is obviously this is the sort of swing high of this downtrend, and we could just, those longs that got that were buying for this break, I mean, it has started to look like it's going to break, have got themselves long, and they're going to get taken out, which is, of course, what eventually happened. But it took so long to play out. And to be honest, I just was really finding it difficult to get the right positioning. I think I was always sort of a minute behind where I should have been. Actually, I didn't. I started off. So back here now to the actual results, and I just want to look at yesterday. I started off negative. Look at that. None of this was tilt, by the way. I have to say, well, it wasn't great trading, no, but none of it was tilt. All of this is 1 micro. Every trade is 1 micro. I think there was only one time where I got stopped. Yeah, so 1 micro, never moving the stop out. So, the perfect on the rules. There was only one time where I re-entered a trade that I got stopped out of, and I was consciously doing that. Well, does that matter? Perhaps I should have given it a few more minutes. Can't remember whether it worked out, but that doesn't really matter. But anyway, other than that one time, it was fine to trade. In fact, it was the same, I thought, as trading this. This is quite volatile in terms of the results. And it's really the only fact that I got 4. So this was also just 1 micro, playing by the rules. 4 trades in a row, then stop. So, you could say that's just a run of luck and then quit at the right time. Noticeably different number of trades. It'd be interesting to know the time in the trades, the difference actually. Actually, I can see that, can't I? Let's just have a look at that. So today is the 17th, so let's look at yesterday. Between 2 and 5 minutes. So this is a losing day between 2 and 5 minutes. We can see that the losses come in the below 2 minutes area, which I guess is reflecting the fact that there's another loss here. Look, 4 trades and it's 0. Reflecting the fact that obviously the stop is tighter than the stop is tighter than the take profit. Actually, we took more longs than shorts. Right, but let's compare that to the previous day. So we've got most trades below 5 minutes and losers below 2 minutes. And let's go to the previous day. 15th. Here, slightly longer trades, I guess perhaps reflecting the higher profit target. Even those shorter trades were profitable apart from that one there. I mean, so the question is, was I in a different mindset? Was I reading? No. What really was the reason why I got Wednesday's trade right and Thursday's trade wrong? I did note that price was coming up to this level and reversing. The silly thing is, when I put this VWAP on, noted it was getting a... It was here, I'd put it on. Noticing it was getting trended off. It was this one here. Look at this. I just put it on here. It came up and it immediately rejected off that level there. And I remember thinking, I mean, obviously I should have put a short on there. But I was actually just watching to see it, if it came over there. I'd only just sort of noted that, oh, it's selling off the VWAP. That's what it felt like. It felt like price was coming up to a level that was almost like top of value, which it would have been at the time. Well, I'm going to guess the moving average, the value is coming down. Yeah, I mean, anyway, so did that trigger me somewhat? Probably did. And I wasn't waiting. I didn't then think, oh, look, that worked. Or wait for that to happen again. Like at... So what's happening around here? 9:30 a.m, which time here would be 3:30. Is that right? Add 6. Yeah, it would be 3:30. So I probably even need to go to the next level. Now that's a series of 4 losses there, look, from 3:36. Yeah, look how short it is. God, it was long. So 3:35 to 3:36, which is 9:35 to 9:36, and the stop is 3:57. So the stop is there. And I went long at 3:76. I mean, obviously, on reflection, it's just like, what the... It's obviously trading for an immediate bounce back from down here to up here. But did I trade this? No, I don't think I did. Having seen that work so perfectly, did I wait for this to come up? Was I waiting for this around 9:38 or 3:38? At 3:35 I was long, and that was the stop, got stopped. And then but potentially I was triggered into a short. Then at 70, 370. Jesus. I mean, obviously with hindsight it just looks bizarre. No patience, I think. No patience reflected in 55 trades, I suppose. And then long at 405. Long at 405 at 9:39. Wow. Right, I've got to see that. Let's see if I can find that. I said 9.39, didn't I? So I haven't put the VWAP on yet. So that's where I see the VWAP there. There's no well, there is sound, but it's not mic'd. So I was still pretty flat here, look. Still flat. So I'm thinking, I should have gone short off that. Didn't. Was annoyed. No doubt was annoyed. It's coming up. I'm probably getting triggered into a long, aren't I? I'm thinking, that was so obviously a short off the VWAP that these traders who shorted down here are going to get taken out. That was my mindset. Because it was a 40-point move down. Straight down it came. Straight off the VWAP. And in my head, I thought that is so obvious that they're going to get taken out. But what am I doing entering here? Like well above the sort of lows. Fair enough here. Like outside that low. Some traders might have got triggered on that low. So fair enough, and I'd have had you'd have had a 20-point stop. See, I could have sort of entered the limit order, put that on the screen. That's what I don't do, put a limit order on the screen. You'd have had something like, so I'd have been 340, so that would have been my stop down here. And of course I'm saying this with hindsight because I know, at least I think I know, it doesn't take that 340 level. But by this time, let's just pause that there. But keep it going. By this time, what is the view? The view is that this is trending down, and most traders would be patient and wait up here, I would have thought, for the short. So you're not really going to be catching shorts out down here, other than the fact that it did come down fast. Some traders would have got triggered. But even that, I'd say here now, with hindsight, that didn't work. That trade, getting long off there, didn't work. You didn't get that reflexive, or is that the right word? Immediate bounce, reactive bounce. And I think, a few minutes later that's gone, unless they're getting triggered by a further push down. So was that a short I just had there? Wasn't it? I see, I've got triggered, haven't I? I was getting I didn't really realise, but I knew I was. Actually, it was only from this point that well, it is key, isn't it? It's very key, and it probably was that VWAP that I just put on. I was just saying to myself, oh look, excelling at VWAP. It comes up very quickly to VWAP. I hadn't quite got it in my head yet. I wasn't quite prepared. I didn't expect it to come up so quickly and hit VWAP that I didn't take the short. I had noted that this was within my stop range, that the excess over VWAP was within my stop range. So why am I not shorting here now? That should be the logic to short here now. I just got pushed out of a short. And I think sometimes in my head I think, it's just so bloody obvious. But then I think I need to tell myself, just trade what you see. You see, just go with the logic. be aware of what your emotions are, be aware of what your triggers are, but go with the logic of what you see. Not what you get triggered into, not what you think is going to happen, but what is actually happening. And I'm gone along there, look. Like, what the hell? And I know this is the third of the 4 losing trades, at least 4 losing trades. So I'd come back from a loss of 100 in the morning to flat. And now seeing that work unwind again. I even had some nice trades on the open, I think. Even with that high volatility in a stock of 20. I actually had some couple of break-evens where I just pulled the break-even to flat. Did have a loser there. Win, loss, a couple of winners. So I was going alright by this point. Even up to here I was going alright. And then here, I mean, what was I doing? I think I was just trading, almost like trying to trade a minute. As opposed to, I mean, you've got some structure. You've got some, with hindsight. And I did recognise this VWAP. Okay, so here I am now, sort of like waking up to the fact, trying to sell this. And I know this loses as well, doesn't it? I'm now trying to sell this, but of course I'm trying to sell it 10 points below. So it only has to go 10 points above for me to get hit with my stop. That's if this gets triggered. Does this even get triggered? Okay, so I've realised, no, you shouldn't be hitting there. I think this doesn't come up, and I'm now frustrated. I think this doesn't come up because look, that's 20 points, 20 plus points that I should have had. Yeah. In my head I was still pretty calm, but obviously not. I was pretty pissed by this stage, I think. Do I get triggered into a short here? There is another losing trade to come. Do I get triggered into a short? Or do I see this as another strong push down, so I'm trying to trade against the short traders? But look at this. If you look at this as a sort of moving volume, moving average, this is, draw a couple of trend lines. This is should be buying down here, and that's why should have been taking a lot less trades. Should be buying the lows here where I've just put my cursor there, 350. Let's jump a bit. Gone long, not at the lows. I'm trying to go against this push down here. And look how quickly it goes against me. Look. I don't remember too many times yesterday where I got into a trade and it immediately went in my favour. I'm going to put this on a faster speed actually. Fair enough to hold here, but you haven't taken out this low. We're now 5 minutes in to testing these traders getting short down here. They wouldn't have been that triggered because it didn't hit that low. So, you know, why is it coming down? Who knows why it's coming down? It's still reacting off here, perhaps. You know, if we're saying this is a declining high, then what's the test? The test is the lows. The test is 336. That's perhaps where traders are going to stop, or the large traders are going to stop shorting. They're going to stop shorting at the lows because they don't want to push price too much further. Okay, so here I actually have, that actually looks like a decent trade. Oh my god. And yeah, of course, as often happens when you have 4 losing trades in a row, you take the profits very quickly. Because I'm still fearing the same thing happening to the last trade, which was a long, I got stopped, and I'm fearing the same thing's going to happen again, even though this is decent location. My stop would be 10 points below this low. Now, if we come up, sit around here, and it comes down again, then, you know, obviously this trade is in a bit more trouble. I am actually looking for this move up, but look at these. It's not like there's mass panic there. Okay, fundamentally and macro, there was some news, but nothing to change the outlook versus prior to news. Nothing really. So let's set the scene. We had, on this day, the day before, we had CPI, a benign CPI number. You get the reaction of taking the shorts out. So that's really how I read that. Could it carried on higher? Yeah, sure, it could. But it looks like there might be some higher time frame sellers. What time frame? I don't know. Could even just be swing traders just getting short up here. You know, getting short as we're as the price comes up, entering on the lower highs. But there was no real reason for it to sell off and continue to sell off. Not to say it can't do it, but there was no reason for it to fade this or to fall on the opening minute and continue down. Not to say it shouldn't do it, but so this was actually, was that retail sales yesterday? Yeah, retail sales. Retail sales, which were a little lower. Yeah, yields. So bonds up, yields down a little bit. Let's have a look at. Let's bring this across. Let's have a look at yesterday's yields. They're down again today, but yesterday, the 16th, so 130 was the data, retail sales. So by that time, yeah, they were coming down, which is supportive of a long trade. So yeah, so as price is coming down, the fundamentals are that yields are coming down as well, supporting some buying. And in my head, as I said, this was a trader's day. This was a day where I'm trying to go against the emotions. I'm trying to go against what looks like a break up, breakdown, which I just wonder how I didn't profit yesterday, because I was trying to trade every minute from this point. I wasn't throwing trade. I didn't feel like I was throwing trades at the screen. But yeah, so obviously I saw that as a. Let's have a look where I'd put my target. So the target, so the stop is going to be 26 or 27 actually. Yeah, 27, isn't it? It would have been 27. And the target that I put is 376. Now there's an argument. I should have had the target up here for another test up here, at least on this sort of profile high. So let's forward on. Let's see what happens. Sorry, I've completely forgotten where my. No, I can't remember whether I've taken that trade. Yeah, so 376. Yeah, so my target gets hit. Also, the VWAP looks like it's going to get hit. In the meantime, I've gone short. Took that quick long, then went short. I mean, actually, when does that low come in? I'm lost where I am in the timeline now. Where am I in the timeline? No. Okay, so let's go forward from this one. This was a loss. Yeah, so 4 losses. Now, right idea. Take a quick profit. Yeah, so that low is in. So that low's done. So yeah, I should have held. I could have held. But I took that quick profit because 4 losses. I'm trying to get some profits back on the board. It's P&L is what I'm trading at this point, not the price action. I should have realised that. I should have said to myself, ignore, don't try and get moved by the outcome of this trade. Then I think, I've got lucky off. I've got lucky winning that. It probably is going to come down. Well, in a way, I'd be saying I was right to close it, but well, this was a loser as well, was it? So it does. Well, yeah, no, I saw that it gets up to 399. So 376 was a 25 pointer. That must have been the entry was 351, and it did get up to 398. So that would have been as 47. Probably was 50 points profit in that. Certainly the 30, which was the sort of standard that I had. How do I lose this? Or maybe I just take profits early, do I? Yeah, I'm thinking like price can't go up much through here because trader's going to be taking profits and getting short off this level, which is right. I mean, it's the level I should have been shorting, taking profits and getting into a short at. Oh, this is interesting. Look at this coming down. So hadn't achieved that run up here. Yeah, this one is interesting, isn't it? Because it didn't make that low by here. It doesn't get up to the, and then takes out this low here. So it's almost like should have waited for the lows to get hit, and then once that is done, then try this trade up to the VWAP. So you're obviously the entry that I did have that I quit on, which was down here. But I'll say one thing for me, at least I'm not moving my stop down, although with hindsight that would work. Now obviously here I'm thinking, oh please, come on, let's have a winning trade. I'm down 175 by this point. Those 4 losing trades, 5 losing trades. And was probably chastising myself over the fact that I didn't hold that long as well. So I've compounded the mistakes by not getting short here. Not getting short. I don't think I got short there, did I? Not getting short there. And that just sort of brings in the... I've immediately gone short. Well, fair enough. Perhaps should have... Yeah, I mean, that was a very quick short as it came down. That was me getting triggered. Me remembering this, getting triggered. Don't miss out on that fast move down. And of course, just that doesn't happen this time, does it? So have I given myself enough room? Lower highs, but it's so close to this one, isn't it? And of course, there was a move. It eventually did. Perhaps it was so obvious. Perhaps there were too many shorts. Day traders stacked up doing this. Let's short off VWAP. That eventually it does come through and make quite a decent run. And which I think I did recognise at the time, and I probably did try and go long. Now I probably get triggered into that idea. One of the problems is when you have an idea, you don't enter the idea. Price does what you expect it to do. And that's exactly what's happened here. And then I thought, I missed that trade now. I'm missing that trade. I'm going to get into that trade. That was my trade. Look how well it's worked out. And that's the sort of trigger point where too many traders have done exactly what you've thought. And just cut the sound from that. And with a wider stop down here, I don't know. Doesn't really warrant a wider stop, does it? Because there's still a great chance that sort of a higher time frame is going to still short this. But the idea is that traders have been shorting this level here, that it's going to break up, break up. And even probably at this stage I was thinking could take out these highs, because I don't think I was that convinced about which way this was going at this stage. So sorry, what did I do there? I took some profits. So that trade actually did work out. I'm just going to look as to where my... So 423 was the entry. I bet what I do is I start shorting this, thinking if I've seen it, everyone else has seen it, they've got long, and they're going to get stopped, just as I was worried about getting stopped. But the original idea, I think, works out that it does just continue. So let's see that. So 423 was the entry. So the entry was here, just to see how far this runs. $423, yeah, so I got 20 points out of it. Now, you can expect this to pull back, but you can also think that a lot of traders are waiting for that pullback, looking to get this high taken out, and they're going to wait for that pullback and then enter. So, probably shouldn't have been too concerned about the pullback. Should have perhaps been holding that stop at around 405, where it would have been, with the entry at 423, but then letting this play out until where? You know, at some point you can expect this to turn down sharply, and I know that's what it does eventually. So where have we taken out enough of the shorts? And where do those shorts, where do the higher time frame shorts want to get in? So that was the lower time frame getting stopped, and then the pullback, and then other traders waiting for that. This red candle here, that's where they'd put their buy limits to get back in. Now they're trying to trade it higher, as they potentially see this running. See, on a 5-minute time frame doesn't look so bad, does it? Because you're also off this high here. I'm trying to steal some points here. Never a good thing mentally, and in fact it does work out. So that thesis that I'm saying does work out. I just knew I was trying to steal some points, so put the stop at break even, and even that works out. Look, so because of my P&L, I'm not executing my ideas. I'm failing in the execution of my ideas here. Now, admittedly, I wasn't seeing longs down here so much, saying breaking lows. I think I'm only thinking that this morning, but I was seeing the shorts up here. I think I was trying to trade the minute by minute moves rather than seeing this as a price action over an hour or since the open. So I wasn't trading the price action which is evident here. I was trading these sort of like saying to myself, oh, traders have done that, they'll get taken out. Whereas the sort of minute time frame traders weren't getting taken out. Now, of course, I'm sort of saying, oh, why did I not execute on my idea? And I'm getting back in now. But this is decent structure. I mean, obviously that was a better entry, perhaps off this red candle here, with hindsight. I bet I don't stay in this trade. But of course we've taken out this level now. So that is there's an entry for the higher time frame to get short again. It's tested any buy stops. They obviously weren't there with hindsight, because it's come down again. So that gives the higher time frame a bit of confidence to play this downtrend. So with hindsight, 423 all the way up to 470, at least 73 it looks like. So lower off the open, takes out the overnight, or takes out the prior close, finds some buyers, sideways action. Balanced day in my mind really, could easily have gone up as down. Takes out that high as a test. This isn't such a bad trade, really. Perhaps this... No, it's not a bad trade, but perhaps I should actually stop myself here. But it could work out. Take a small profit from it. Let's see what actually happens. Where was the stop? 427. Yeah, so it doesn't get stopped. Could have held it. Should have held it. But trading P&L, just trying to get profits on the board, aren't I? So the takeaway, try and notice where you're getting triggered or potentially getting triggered by missing a trade, by making a mistake. That is all about the triggering. The triggering is about punishing yourself for making a mistake. That's what tilt is. It's punishing yourself. Make a mistake, deserve to lose. And so you punish yourself by being rash, making rash decisions. I mean, I saw this ahead of time. Not necessarily at this point, but I was aware that that could happen, and I traded it. Got in late because I was hesitant because of P&L. Got out early because I was fearful because of P&L. Same here, got in short here, but took early profits because again I was just trying to break this down slowly. But interesting, by the end of the day, at this point, I think I'm realising my trading isn't working here, and I'm now beginning to think of the higher time frame and what's happening. I think, okay, short off the open, rejected this push higher, which, you know, under a bullish trend, a bullish scenario, you would easily see this break the high, perhaps retest and continue, perhaps push through if we're really coming from lows, but it didn't. The sellers were there, profit takers were there, got rejected, came back in, took out this low but didn't continue on. It was a pretty strong move down, but buyers stepped in. There were enough reasons for buyers to step in. Perhaps it was those yields falling. Perhaps it was still mindset of yesterday's CPI, or even the fundamentals of yesterday's CPI. Let's face it, that's why the Fed had this hawkish statement. That's why we're in this downtrend. So it's easy to understand why buyers would want to come in. Perhaps there are some programs that program to buy the lows when yields are coming down. Anyway, at this point, I was just saying, well, this trade's either going to work out or it's not. Thankfully, I didn't move my stop to break even. I left it where it was. And let's just jump to where we are now. And we can see what happened overnight. Not overnight, but by the end of the day. So I'd left the desk. I'd left a take profit here. I happened to look at how the trade was doing, fully expecting to have got taken out actually. It was only 5 points away, I think, from getting taken out. Thought, this is just too good to not take. And I'm glad I probably did actually, because I don't think if I'd have let it run that I would have withstood this. moving up. I think certainly if I was sitting at my desk, I'd have just got it in my head that my stop was going to get taken. And my entry was somewhere here. Probably was here. This level. I'd have probably seen it go red and closed it. Of course, the best thing I could have done was not look at it here at all. Wait to the end of the day. And I'd have had my target hit. Now, I did have all sorts of silly targets. Oh no, 176 was... Jesus, look. 176 was what I had in my head. Didn't quite get hit, but look. That's where we got that. So I had this level drawn prior to the retest here. Saw that it retested there, thought that's obviously a good level. Set these sort of limits, thinking this is where price could go. And here we are. Hits the 186. Does it? Yeah. Well, I think that's... Oh, that's just... That last move there is the... The normal market hours closes there 246. So I would have got hit in normal. Would have hit my take profit if I'd have left it in normal market hours. Of course, I was also thinking, oh, it's come all the way down here and didn't hit my target, which was actually there. I'd left in the end because I thought that was just down here, just not going to get there. Too hopeful. But look what it had to do before it finally did break. That final hour, look, 178 points. Wow. Having spent the first 2 hours getting bought up. The trouble is, so many times that I'm not sure I've ever yet. There are many times when I sort of think, oh, it's never going to get there, but I feel like it could, but it's never going to do it. It's so far away, and it gets hit. But don't think once I've left a profit target down there or up there to get hit. Plenty of times which has got hit, I mean, plenty of times I've left the target there and it doesn't get there. So, I don't know, this is an odd occasion where it did move, did go, but I didn't get hit. So today, I don't think we've got any news. China meets growth targets, which is positive, but positive news from China has been ignored, I think, recently. looks stronger than it actually is. I expect we can make it to 21,400 and the volume here, and then possibly we get rejected just at or just above there. Maybe though, you know, this is a second test. I wouldn't say this is a positive result of this test, because this is just lower time frame. Probably getting taken out as they sold down here, kept that trade on overnight, and now they're just getting stopped out. So this isn't a fundamental move up, it's just a bit of a technical bounce. So today for me this downtrend is still in play, but that is a key level. That is a key level which I expect to get tested. So we'll put it at 7.6 with the other one.